What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, and welcome to another Crown Tundra Moveset guide. Today we are covering GALARIAN MOLTRES, one of the coolest designs, in my opinion, the coolest design out of all the newly released Pokemon. I am super excited for this thing because it is off the childhood favorite of mine. I was a Gen 1er when I was born, and you know what? I'm still kind of a Gen 1er, let's put it that way. But at the end of the day, this Pokemon, in terms of competition, competitive Pokemon, it is not great. That really sucks. If it had just a couple things better, it could be insane. It'd be basically baby Yveltal. Unfortunately, that's not the case. But let's go ahead and jump into and talk about this Pokemon. Of course, by the way, have to mention it, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so I'd appreciate it very much if you were to subscribe to the channel. I'm dropping a ton of content for the Crown Tundra DLC, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of that. Tons more content revolving competitive Pokemon, Draft League, Showdown Lives, all that kind of stuff. Make sure to like on the video, and of course, comment down below what are your thoughts around GALARIAN Moltres. Let's go ahead and jump into it. First thing I want to mention, this Pokemon is weak to quite a few types, only 4 of them, not too bad. Fairy, Ice, Rock, and Electric, not bad at all, but it's also got really nice resists and immunities. It's got resistances to 2 of the best types in the game, being Ghost and Dark. It's also immune to Psychic and immune to Ground. That's absolutely phenomenal. It's also resisting Grass, not bad at all. Only issue is, it is a flying type that is not resisting Fighting, and Fighting is phenomenal in the Sword and Shield metagame, so you gotta make sure you have answers to fighting types, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's go ahead and start talking about some sets. One of the coolest sets that I have found has been the Assault Vest set. I think an Assault Vest on this Pokemon is really good because you can be a solid pivot. You're fast enough to outspeed a lot of things and flinch them with Fiery Wrath. And if you guys don't know, Fiery Wrath is basically Dark Pulse, except it's 10 base power stronger, 20% chance to flinch, 90 base power. It hits a spread move as well for VGC purposes, so that's nice to have for you guys. Air Slash flinches as well, but this Pokemon is very solid overall. Just is lacking some things, and the big thing it's lacking the ability to recover or defog, and that's a huge problem because the reason we're running an Assault Vest on this set is because it can't do those things. It should be able to run Roost, it should be able to run defog. It's a bird, for crying out loud, but it just can't do it. It is what it is. We move forward and we try and find another set that's going to work even better for it. I think a really solid option is going to be a heavy duty boot set with Hurricane and Fiery Dance with U-turn and Nasty Plot. That way you're able to be a pivot but also a setup sweeper with that Nasty Plot ability to just break teams extremely well. Your dual stab of Flying and Dark hits teams for incredible damage. There's basically only steel types and like electric types that are also fairies, and some fairy types that are resisting the combination of these attacks. It's crazy how strong this combination is. Only problem is it doesn't have the coverage to touch those Pokemon that it can't touch with its stabs. That's a huge downside. If it had access to Heat Wave, Mystical Fire, something along those lines, just fire coverage, that'd be absolutely phenomenal. Really disappointed that I did not get it, especially because, like, look at it. It looks like it's on fire. I don't know. We kind of just got to play around it. It definitely has advantages in the Sword and Shield metagame. Its typing is great. Look at how good Mandibuzz is. Look at how good Yveltal is in both the Ubers format and the OU format. I think this Pokemon will likely be habitating in the UU, maybe even RU, depending on what ends up falling where, but I think that it's an incredibly likely spot for it. In terms of drafting for Draft League, I feel like it's going to be a menace to deal with if you're playing lower tiers. It's definitely viable as a niche pick in Tier 3. I find in Tier 2, it's just not good. In Tier 4, I think it's very solid. It's got great stats all around for Tier 4, so I wouldn't be surprised if it did not live there. It was mostly a Tier 3 Pokemon. U-turn is nice to have. Guess Nasty Plot. Other than that, you have a couple options. You have access to a very supportive set with Foul Play, Sucker Punch, Taunt, U-turn, all very nice moves to have. It's bulky enough on the special side to take tons of hits, 90 in its defense and HP, and 125 special defense means it's incredibly bulky. I definitely find that it kind of has its EV distribution pretty good. I kind of wish it had 100 special defense and 125 special attack, but we can't all be Galarian Articuno now, can we? But anyways, I find that this Pokemon is really strong, really solid, has definitely some weaknesses, and it definitely needs teammates to support it, or else it cannot be the best version of itself. I did want to also touch, I felt like this set here, a Citrus Berry set with Fiery Wrath, Hurricane, Agility, and Nasty Plot could be very solid because Berserk, if you guys don't know what it does, it is Drampa's ability, by the way. Once you get lowered to 50% or less from taking an attack, specifically an attack, it cannot be like Hail Chip or Toxic Chip or something, you will gain 1 stage in special attack, and if for some reason you can get yourself back up over 50% and then drop back down below 50%, you will be able to gain another boost in your special attack. Really nice to have in certain situations, but because you don't get Roost or Recover or something along those lines, it means it's a lot worse. And that's why I have the Citrus Berry on, so we can get back up over 50%, proc the berry, get back down below 50% and get to +2. Then we just need to fire off an Agility, and we are torching things with its really solid powerful moves in Fiery Wrath and Hurricane. In terms of teammates, I definitely feel it has quite a few things it needs to make it really good. That's because it's missing out on the Roost and the Defog. A Pokemon that has really good answers to fighting types are very important because this is your flying type and it is not resisting fighting, and that's because it's a dark type. So you gotta kind of play around that. You need a good ghost. Definitely need a good ghost, need a good bug type maybe, need a good psychic type. Those are must-haves, or if you feel like your team has enough removal already, get another flying type. Why not? Good fairy types as well are very, very valuable with this thing. In terms of offense, I feel like it definitely needs to be paired with a strong fire type. I mentioned that for the Galarian Articuno video, and the reason I'm saying fire types again is because they destroy the steel types that want to come in and take hits from this Pokemon. Steel is one of the best types to take a hit from this thing, so you run that. Cinderace, Blaziken, Darmanitan. Mentioned all three of those in Galarian Articuno video. Definitely find that it's very, very effective at dealing with them because they're fast and they get momentum. Super useful with Galarian Moltres, form a really solid U-turning core around potential threats that your opponent wants to deal with. At the same time, they resist the fairy type moves that your opponent will be going for to hit Moltres for super effective damage. You also need a solid ground type. Ground types help break those steel types as well. They're immune to the electric type attacks. They're going to be targeting the Moltres. Obviously, they're both weak to ice types, but ice is, as solid as it is, there's a lot of really, really good water types in the game right now, so you can definitely play around that and have solid ice answers on your teams. Other than that, I find that Veil would be a really cool option to have because it reduces the damage output that Moltres is going to be taking because you're basically having Light Screen and Reflect Up, which is super valuable to have because it makes it so you're going to be able to go down to, instead of being brought down to an OHKO, it's going to be a 2-KO, meaning you pop your Berserk, you're probably going to be slower than something, and you fire off an insanely powerful attack off of a base 100 special attack, +1 with insanely powerful attacks like Fiery Wrath and the Hurricane. Other than that, its weaknesses. Let's start talking about those weaknesses because it has quite a few of them. No coverage. Its coverage is terrible. Other than this, it's like Shadow Ball and that's it. Shadow Ball and like a normal move. It sucks. I can't believe it doesn't get anything else. Really wish it got Mystical Fire or Heat Wave, but can't get everything right. No recovery. That's horrible. The fact that it does not get recover takes this, in my opinion, down from like a tier 2, maybe even a tier 1 mon depending on things because it's super bulky, down to even something like, I don't know, tier 3. That's a huge problem. No defog either, same deal, not as severe as no recovery in my opinion, but we're still going to make the most out of it. Its ability is also subpar when you compare it to Defiant on Galarian Zapdos and Competitive on Galarian Articuno, so I definitely feel like it could have gone a bit better. Berserk is definitely underwhelming. As for its strengths though, the typing is phenomenal. It resists so many things. It is immune to 2 of the best types in the game, being Psychic and Ground. It's weak to some common types, but types that have definite answers to them and very important checks that teams need to have to be successful, so I find it's very solid there. It's also a really good double dancer with Nasty Plot and Agility, allowing you to really wear down a team. The best double dancers I find are bulky as hell, so they can get up 2 of them, but at the same time they gotta be fast enough so they can outspeed a lot of common Scarfers that are a lot of the faster teams. Think of like Thunderous T, I think, and Thunderous I at least. They're really good double dancers. I think Moltres is not as good as them, but it's good enough at that role where you can consistently run it and have success. I also think that having Priority Sucker Punch is just nice to have in general, and the fact that it gets it with stab options is really good. Obviously, because you don't have recovery, there's not as much variety that you can run with the Moltres. I don't think a very defensive set is going to be the best option for you, but see what you can do. I think it's a very solid pivot, and you never know what can happen. Moltres could definitely be a star in its role, and I feel very strongly about that. I think it's one of the coolest designed Pokemon. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Galarian Moltres. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments below. Also, do me a favor, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like on the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel, guys. Like I said, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're getting close to 900. Let's see if we can get to there within the next, I don't know, I'm hoping to get there within the next month. That way I have a month to go before I get into 100 subscribers in December, so we'll see what happens. But leave your comments down below on Galarian Moltres. Make sure to come back tomorrow, potentially. I don't know when I'm uploading this video, or stick around today because I have my finals game for the BBR against D-Ray and his San Diego Snugglers. I have my Urshifu Rapid Strike against his Dracovish. Which water type will come out on top? Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video. Comment your thoughts about Galarian Moltres down in the comments below, and I will see you guys all next time.